God damn it. Hello everybody. Man, y'all are assholes. So, I'm adored. What you just heard was a motorcycle passing by. Passing by where? Well, passing by me. You know that. This microphone is not plugged into anything. I just brought the microphone here just because I thought it was funny. So, I'm currently in my friend's truck. You know that friend Owen I mentioned? Yeah, I'm in his truck because it's currently midterm week for kids that have trade school. I have trade school, and trade school lasts multiple periods. I have to go to a different school for that. Usually there's like third and fourth period midterm exams. My third and fourth period are one class that I take in one day. They just said like, hey, you want to get your parent to send an email now to check you out in advance, then do it. And so I did, and I just kind of have time to kill. But Owen doesn't. So I concocted the idea of him giving me his fucking car keys so I can get into this car and just record like 2 videos. I'm like on a time crunch right now and I'm really antsy. Someone really could just like walk up to my like window and just start knocking. That's probably going to happen. So the album, oh shit, I need to get my notes. Oh yeah, I should have done this before I started recording, but man, kids are gonna fucking hate this. Yeah. Let's fucking go. I'm going to be reviewing 2 albums in this exact same setup. The first album I'm going to be reviewing is going to be a bit repetitive because it's from the exact same band I reviewed last, Car Seat Headrest, and this is their album Monomania. So this album is recorded, it was released in 2012. It was released immediately after, well, not immediately after, but it was the next album after Twin Fantasy, the album you all probably know from them, if not that, it's probably like Teens of Denial or something like that. Twin Fantasy was about Will's relationship with a particular individual, and this album is about his breakup with this particular individual. Sorry. This album is 9 songs long, or 9 songs, has 9 songs on it, and is 61 minutes long. That's the longest album I'm reviewing, or so far. The reason why I think this album like isn't long at all, I mean, it is an hour long, so if you do want to dedicate an hour of your time to an album, I think this is a good album to do it to, because it's a really diverse album. There's a lot of moments that deviate from the norm, and in very engaging and interesting and well done ways. It has the indie rock anthems like Romantic Theory and Sleeping with Strangers. It has the longer songs that really do go on and really are really good. They're like the highlights of the album, like Souls, like Anchorite. It does have moments that are just like really different from the norm, like Misheard Lyrics and Mod Gone, and it all somehow meshes together into making a really interesting, cohesive album. Oh yeah, and I mentioned this earlier with the lowdown. The lyrics on this album. It's a breakup album. I want to retract something I said in my Teens of Style review. This is not a concept album. Twin Fantasy kind of is, technically. Meanwhile, this album is more just like, you know, all the songs are about the same breakup Will had, which still makes it like a consistent album in terms of that. Like it doesn't really have any moments that break away from it being a breakup album, but it isn't really a concept. Even if it's not a concept album, it doesn't change the fact that this album is still structured incredibly. All the way from, like, Romantic Theory definitely feels like an opening track. I just thought something funny. Romantic Theory is definitely an opening track. Anchorite is definitely a closing track, and it's really, it sandwiches some of the softer moments in between some of the faster moments. It sandwiches some of the faster moments in between some of the softer moments. It's a really passionate album. I love listening to it because you can tell Will means like everything he says on this album, whether it be like in some artsy kind of way or in a literal way. He means everything said on this album. It is still structured really well. It does kind of feel like each song does go on to the next track really well, musically speaking and lyrically speaking. Romantic Theory doesn't really have a whole lot of lyrics. It's mostly just the la la la, oh, so on. But like the one verse that actually does mention it is kind of like showing one's true colors, like shortly before a breakup. Misheard Lyrics is like reminiscing over genuine, earnest feelings that you've had with somebody, whether they be positive and negative. Time to Die kind of doesn't fit the mold of the lyrics, but it kind of does. I guess it compares like compromising oneself to keep a relationship to selling out. If the song actually is about selling out, then it's interesting that Will used it on Teens of Style. Overexposed Enjoy, I think, is about getting cheated on. It's probably the most lyrically direct on this album. It definitely responds to that with total insincerity. Los Brechos is about coping, and Souls is pretty much the coping not working at all. Still desperate after all of it, desperately trying to make it work. Souls, I feel like, is more about partying specifically. It has a lot more party lyrics in it. Los Brechos kind of had that, but it's a little subdued, just kind of like every now and then said. And Souls is definitely way more about it. It's more like about the environment, and I love that about it. Okay, this is where I might have a little bit of an issue with the lyrics, which is also where I'm going to mention this. Sometimes some of the lyrics are kind of redundant. Like, Mod Gone is about, like, I guess, wondering where it went wrong, and then promptly choosing to not think about it. Meanwhile, Sleeping with Strangers is, I think, about the same thing. And put back to back like that is kind of strange. Also, I think Sleeping with Strangers is placed a little weird in the track listing, but I've seen worse album track placements, so here it's still pretty good. It could have been way worse. I feel like it could have been placed better. I don't know, but I also didn't make the album, so I guess. Yeah. And Anchorite is genuinely, earnestly, actually apologizing for everything that this 61-minute long album said. Like, genuinely apologizing. And it has a lot of self-loathing in the end. Like in the end, whenever... Someone just... Oh, I love this. In the outro, in the 9-minute long outro, somewhere there, Will is just, like, screaming obscenities. I don't know if they're directed towards his ex, like, as if he's keeping his composure throughout the entire song to try to be level-headed, and then he just can't at the end after trying to genuinely move on. He just can't. Or if it's just self-loathing, which, given this album's very negative emotion track record, it very much could be, and just him swearing at himself for being such a fucking asshole. Yeah, lyrically speaking, it's pretty much a masterpiece. Flow-wise, it's pretty much a masterpiece. Instrumentals are just masterpieces. I love this album. Again, the one negative is, like, some, like, lyrics are a bit redundant every now and then. Like, I feel like they could be said better, or maybe replaced with other lyrics. That being said, that's not really a negative that, like, affects my opinions on the album overall. I still think it's a really interesting, really fun, really amazing album. It's very diverse. It's very gripping lyrically. It's very cool conceptually. It's very passionate, and the album flow is just immaculate. I'm gonna give Monomania by Car Seat Headrest a 10 out of 10. This might be my favorite Car Seat Headrest album. I guess it never really dawned on me just how much of a fucking masterpiece like some of these lyrics are, like, before I listened to the full album. And then it just, yeah, like, the reason I decided to listen to this album was, like, because of a point I made in Teens of Style. I feel like because Teens of Style is, like, a remake album of, like, a bunch of songs that Will made earlier, it, like, gives you it kind of motivates you to go back and listen to some of those older albums, and it really did do that, because it motivated me to listen to this album, enjoy it a lot, and write this review. That's not a student. They're not gonna get me. They can't get me. And plus, like, what was my alternative? Just going to the library? And what? Record my review there? Fuck that. I decided to do this review now because I do plan on reviewing their, currently most recent album, Making a Door Less Open, which is a very controversial Car Seat Headrest album. And I kind of want to get, like, some really positive Car Seat Headrest opinions out of the way before I start talking about Mad Low. Yeah, this was an interesting video. I'm in my friend's truck. Actually, that back of the truck is actually where I did that one community post where I said how I'll spend the next hour, and I'm still amazed that's my most liked post. And I'm gonna be spending like 2 hours here. So goodbye everyone. I'm probably gonna edit and release this review first. So yeah, the next review I'll be doing is Interpol's Turn on the Bright Lights. I've been teasing that one quite a bit, and honestly, sorry for not giving it to you sooner. I just feel like doing this because I feel like my next the next review I write, the next review I write down notes for will be of Madlow, and I don't have a lot of notes for that yet. So, bye everyone. I hope you all enjoy. I hope you all live adventurous lives. I hope you all dream big, and I hope those dreams come true. That's what I want of all of you. That's what I want of myself as well. So, bye everyone.